Hi, this is Attorney Mike Graven coming to you from Chicago, as usual. And today I've got a fun one. We're going back to our good friends over at 3B. We've got Deborah Davis there and TJ, both prosecuting. And we have sort of an interesting clip. A guy comes in and it's just sort of a slow descent, but he can't get out of his way, and it ends badly. Let's do it.
They'll have you get prepared for that, and we'll see what the circumstances on all this. Do not get another one between now and then.
Let me leave some information that I think would be helpful for you, okay? I'm sending your texting some information.
Okay, the setup here is we're at the end of a long call. Everyone's tired, and it's just charming. You saw it already. TJ and Deborah have the same reaction. He just sent somebody or something like that. She's going out. It's kind of fun, and then that sets up the appearance that we're watching here.
If you have questions, just let me know, okay?
All right, we're all set.
Yep. No, sorry.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, prosecutor.
Yep, take care.
Yep.
Thank you, prosecutors.
Why don't we bring in Mr. Tate?
Okay.
Hello, Deputy Tyler. Are you by yourself?
I am.
Well, there's an open warrant for Mr. Tate, so he's not going to be moving here.
Okay, that's what I kind of thought, that's what you said earlier, so I already made contact with Central PD Deputy Officer.
All right. Oh, very good. Thanks.
Okay, you want me to come in?
Yeah, that'd be fine. You can just have a seat in the back. But thanks. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Yep, always a bad sign when the judge calls for backup because you've got an open warrant as you come into court for your appearance.
Sorry about the delay. That's the attorney's side there. Everybody take their hat off, if you would.
I'm sorry, sir.
People are not used to being in court anymore, so. All right, this is the last case of a long afternoon. It's not anybody's fault, it just is the way it is. This is a couple of files in the matter of People versus Antonio Tate. File 211209 is an ordinance case of driving suspended. That allegedly occurred on June 11th of 21. File 211885 is a no operator's license charge under state statute, which allegedly occurred on September 11th of 21. And that also carries with it a no proof of insurance charge. Mr. Reed has the ordinance case and Ms. Davis has the county state statute case. Ms. Halleck represents the defendant on both cases. What's the status here?
I didn't receive any offers.
There's no offer in ours.
Yeah.
Unless he were to have gotten his license reinstated, then we could discuss.
There's a hold. I paid everything that I could, and then there's a hold, I think, because I didn't go to driver's training in Indiana. So they put like a definite, indefinite suspension. I don't know how to get it lifted.
So that's a hold from Indiana?
Right, and then in Michigan, because I logged onto my BMV, it said there was something in Michigan also. But I'm not sure like if it could have been removed or not. But as far as I'm concerned, those two were holding my license. Those are like a definite. It says indefinite when I look at it.
Let me see what I can find out. See if we got anything. Well, then one piece of advice is stop driving.
Yeah, I called the DMV and they said that it would have to be something to do with the court.
You don't owe me any money. So here. Could you take the child out? He doesn't need to watch this. But you're welcome to stay. But no, it doesn't show you owe me any money. Let's take a look at your driving record. Your address is listed as Portage on your driving record, so that's one problem. Anything the Secretary of State sends you goes to the address on your driver's license.
Yeah, that's my grandma's.
All right, so your grandma will get that. All right, good. Who lives at Gateway?
Kaylee.
Are you on the lease there?
No, I don't live there. I just be there.
Well,
She works like at 6 in the morning, so I just watch my son, or usually I'm.
So the address is one problem, but continuous violations of the law is really the main problem.
Failure to comply with judgment. They used to suspend for unpaid tickets.
Yeah, I had a
And
ticket
they
from
stopped
2019.
doing that. They cleared some stuff. How recently did you go?
Again, this is the end of the call. I think it's Melissa Halleck. You just said it. I don't know. The defense attorney, she's at a time. All of her clients are doing dopey things. But right there, he's like, the judge is just musing. You know, they used to suspend for suspended tickets. The defendant starts telling him about unpaid tickets he's got. She's like, no.
The Secretary of State.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or the dogs get it.
I took my driver's test, and then because I had a ticket I had to pay in Michigan because they had the suspension in Michigan. I think that's what it was, and I had to get a clearance through Michigan so I can take my driver's test at the Secretary of State. But then when I took my driver's test, I passed it, and then they didn't let me take a picture because there was a hold through Indiana. And then when I went to court last time, they told me that to try to get my license together and stuff like that. And I found the ticket from 2019. I paid that, waited like a week or something, no clearance card or nothing. I checked the BMV website. It said,
Okay, so did you try to clear the ticket in Indiana?
Mhm.
How recently?
I paid it. I paid it last time we had court.
But
as we go through this, just pay attention to both prosecutors at the bottom. It's really kind of fun seeing how little of this they are buying.
what county?
It is Howell, LaGrange County.
Well, Mr. Tate, to further complicate things, there's an open warrant for your arrest for home invasion, 3rd degree. See what I can figure out about that. That's a felony charge.
From where?
See if I can find it.
It's from the city of Sturgis from November 28th, 2021.
It's not in my on-base queue. Let me look at it separately.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that.
It's alleged that you broke into the home of Yesenia Merrill at Cato Lane and committed a larceny. It's a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment.
Yesenia
Don't
was...
tell me anything about it. Ex-boyfriend. Kicked her door in and took her phone, is the allegation. Anyway, Laura, would you bring me that last pretrial sheet that's I left on my desk? I can't make head nor tail out of his effort to get his license, but I believe him that he's trying to do some things to get his valid license. I can't tell what's going on with Indiana. His story that he took his driver's test and passed it has a ring of truth to it. Can we reset this? He's now got this felony case he's got to deal with.
I would prefer get it resolved. I mean, I've been back and forth with Mr. Tate on some other time. This has been since June. to point out when he was pulled over in our case, he didn't have a driver's license then. He only had a Michigan ID card. So this should not have come as a surprise to Mr. Tate that he didn't have a driver's license and needed action. We've given him over 6 months at this point, almost 8 months to get it corrected since he was originally arrested in this case. I'm not sure what giving him more time is going to do.
Well, he got arrested in yours, and then that was in June, then he got charged in the county case. He driving around with no insurance and no driver's license in September. So, Mr. Tate, they're not feeling real charitable toward you because you keep driving with your license being suspended and you haven't been able to get it back.
At one point in time, I never knew that my license was suspended because I wasn't staying with my mom. I had a court date and I said that because I was staying with my mom and then I was moving around.
Well, you have a right to have a trial on these if you want.
I never knew that I was.
All right. Well, their allegation is you knew damn well you were suspended because you didn't have a driver's license in your.
No, when I got pulled over, they told me that I was suspended. I knew that I was suspended.
The second time in September.
And then in Michigan, I got a clearance card. When I took my driver's test, I got a clearance card. So when I got the clearance card, at that moment, I thought I was able to drive.
When did you take your driver's test?
I think, I'm not sure.
He sent me the information on the BMV that he has, but it doesn't make sense to me either. I don't. Failure to appear for driver safety program, effective date January 14th of last year, indefinite. And then it says mail date. They mailed.
I give the defense attorney credit here. She doesn't have anything to work with, so she feigns confusion, just sort of on behalf of her client. Like, oh, I don't know, this paperwork is confusing. Which is not much, but the best she can do. I'm actually impressed with that play.
Something October 16, 2020, but that would be after the effective date. So
no, that's before the effective date. They mailed it on October 16th, indicating he's going to be suspended indefinite on January 1st. So they gave him a 2.5 month, almost a 3 month lead time in Indiana that if you don't get this taken care of, you're going to be suspended.
He also has an open warrant in Indiana for a minor in possession of alcohol where he was failure to appear for a court hearing.
Okay, there's the double hammer right there.
What county is that?
Noble County.
All right, I'm going to set both of these for a jury trial on the same day. Jody Hughes is a witness in the one case and Adam Kreitz is a witness in the other case.
Easy enough.
Mr. Tate, you have an open warrant. The bailiff's going to take you into custody. You're the officers here from Centerville on this home invasion charge last November 28th.
I just love this, the way he transitions. First, he tries to deal with it that he's got two traffic tickets or two traffic cases in front of him. One of them is TJ Reed's the prosecutor. One of them is Deborah Davis, the prosecutor. That's why they have two there. End of the call. And he called for backup ahead of time, but when he transitioned into he just says, you know, you're going to be taken into custody. Doesn't even change his tone. It's very smooth.
They filed the complaint on January 20th. It's alleged that you kicked your ex-girlfriend's door in at her apartment and
she don't have an apartment, and I never.
Oh, don't say
anything. He's got a felony charge outstanding. The judge keeps telling him not to talk about it, but he only says what it is to describe what he's talking about. He's telling the guy, here's why you're getting taken into custody today. And then, of course, the defendant, despite being represented, wants to argue about it right there. And he comes with a horrible argument. It's alleged that you kicked someone's door in. Oh, they don't have an apartment. I doubt that. I bet he kicked a door somewhere and they can establish it.
More about it. We'll get you arraigned tomorrow and get an attorney for you on it. But you got an open warrant. You apparently got an open warrant out of Indiana. So he can let his girlfriend know. And if you're staying at Gateway, you're going to end up getting her kicked out because you're off lease. Yeah, got a lot going on. So we'll set these.
It's cool to watch the officers just as he's talking to the judge, just very calmly sort of get in position, you know, to do what they know they need to do.
Others for a jury trial, try to figure out what your license status is. Don't drive anymore to get this straightened out, but you're going into custody on the open warrant. All right, thank you, sir.
So there's like no bond or nothing?
Well, you gotta go to the jail, get arraigned, get lodged, then they'll set a bond tomorrow. I don't know anything about it. I'm not gonna arraign you on it. You need to get booked and processed. It's a felony. And
that's interesting. The defendant is aware of this apparently and understands it, but he's hoping he gets a bond hearing right now and he can walk out of court, which is understandable. I would too. I mean, that's what would be his goal. At least he's rational in that sense, and that's a smart question from his perspective. But the judge is saying, you know, it's a felony, and this happens to be a misdemeanor room. So he's like, not only do you have to go get booked and all that stuff, they'll do a bond hearing for you tomorrow. But I may not be the judge. I probably won't be the judge. So I'm not getting into it. I'm dealing with the 2 traffic tickets that are before me now. And since you have an open warrant, you're going to jail. So, you know, he was hoping he could somehow talk his way out of spending tonight in jail, but there's just no way under this circumstance.
there's also apparently an open warrant for your arrest from Indiana, so you may end up down there before this is done. So you will have a bond, but it won't be set until tomorrow.
I didn't notice that the first time. There's an open warrant in Indiana as well. So even if he bonds out of here, Indiana might put a hold on him. This is a border county, so that's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. They're used to that sort of thing.
All right, thanks for your patience.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
both.
Can I get the keys? Can we get that? Yeah, you can get my car. That's what I'm saying.
Hopefully you didn't drive here.
No, his
My girlfriend
girlfriend.
drove here.
Okay, just making sure. Oy.
All right, I will see you both in a few days.
I'm a valid driver.
And I hope things go well here. Hope it snows 2 feet or something, but
Well,
No,
that's what happened to us.
no, sir.
I'll shut off the
Oh,
light.
yeah, I say shut the feet off.
Well, there you have it. You know, now I'd like to hear the rest of that story because it's good enough they had to shut the feet off. I wanted to say thank you to Melody who sent that to me. It is a very fun clip, and I always like to spend a little time in 3B. It was kind of neat. There was sort of some drama to it, and like how is this arrest gonna go down? You know he's getting arrested and taken to jail from the very beginning when the judge calls for people to come in because he's got an open warrant. So I mean, there was no drama in that, but I was wondering, are we gonna have a big to-do or are we gonna do it? The defendant, to his credit, you know, did what he could to try to get out. Saw that it wasn't happening, and there was no resistance or anything else. It would have been a dumb place to do it with cameras and in front of a judge and 2 prosecutors. It would have been a bad play to try to resist there. That's not the spot for it, and he didn't. And as a result, he might go and bond out tomorrow and go about his life. He's going to spend the night in jail, but at that point he realized that can't be avoided. Here at Law Talk, we like to have fun with silly stuff that happens in court, and every once in a while, and completely by accident, I assure you, you might learn something. Thanks for watching.